Alright, so we're back at the woods. Gonna do some trail clearing here. And I thought it'd be a good idea to give the rotary cutter here a good once over before we go to town. So the last time I used it, I obviously backed into something, and I saw that after the fact that the guard there is pushed in a little bit. That's not too big of a deal. And when I was unhooking it to leave for the day, I saw this and I was like, well, that's odd. And I wasn't too alarmed because if you look at the bolt, there's no markings on it for hardness, so I knew it wasn't anything like structural to do with it. But still, I was kind of curious, well, where did it come from? So there's this plastic guard on top here, and this is your access cover for that slip clutch, and you can see how that is loose. So the deal is, these bolts right here hold this plastic cover to the front of the gearbox. They're loose. They probably should have put a lock washer on there, or maybe some Loctite, which they didn't. So it needs to go back in there, or I just need to pull the whole thing off. I don't think I can pull it off without pulling off this here, and I don't have any type of tools besides like a pliers, so I'm going to see what I can do to get this this little tiny bolt here back in there and tighten up the rest of these, and then I'll probably start by doing some mowing in the front here just to knock this down, and then I brought the stick saw along as well. We'll open up some paths. Alright, so last time I ran through here with the rotary cutter a little bit. Obviously we got some branches here that we need to trim up a little bit, so I'm going to come through with the stick saw here, and this will be kind of the before, and we'll see what the after looks like. Alright, so now I'm going to go through with the rotary cutter and clean it up. Alright, so here's the after. So it's opened up quite a bit more. I don't know, it's hard to get the stuff that's on the side. There's still some small stuff. You have to take that out with the stick saw. You can't get close enough with the brush hog rotary cutter, and it tends to just bend the stuff over if you don't have the cutter completely over top. So if you can tell, this widen it up, and I didn't extend the stick saw. I just went the 9 feet with it. This is much wider. A little bit here. I could probably clean this up a little bit. Nice and wide now. Alright, then on this one, I used the stick saw trim up, and I came through here twice with the rotary cutter. This one looks better already too. But when I got to the end there, I don't know what that is for tree, if that's a hickory. It's kind of viney, and chain popped off the stick saw, and I don't have the tools to take the nuts off the bar to reset the chain. I should have probably checked the chain for stretch. I'm sure it stretched. Either that or some of those vines probably got worked in there, and it just caused the chain to work itself off, which is frustrating. But I'll work with the brush hog rotary cutter as much as I can here without the stick saw. So it popped off the sprocket in here, and I can't get these little nuts loose. I got a pliers here. Whoever set this saw up must have really cranked those down. I can't get them to move. And I never even thought about grabbing the tool this morning. I wasn't thinking at all. It's kind of an early start, and I just wanted to get out here and get going right away. So, and all I have is a channel locks, a very large adjustable, and small pliers. And small pliers is just rounding this off. I can't get those loose. So we'll go back and we'll use the rotary cutter here. The small pliers did work to get these tight though on this cover here. Got them all tightened up, and there's an excess cover like this on the bottom. That's how you get to the bottom two, and those were extremely loose as well. Alright, so it's been about 2, maybe 3 weeks. Let's cut this section here. Alright, so it's kind of hard to see. This is what we're going to clear out. There's a path in here. And there should be one through here as well. So I'll set the camera up and I'll see what you guys can see here. So that looks a little bit better. Definitely makes short work of all this little viney brush. The only issue is there's sometimes stuff that's laying here that was cut up. So here we got a larger branch. Stuff like that you gotta kind of get out of the way or you can't cut it decent. But if I get some of that stuff out in here, then I could clear that right up to the larger trees there, make it look nice. We're gonna get set up by the deer stand there and clear a little bit over there. So we got another section here. There's spots where it's not too bad, and then there's just some overgrown stuff on the sides you just got to kind of clean up. And I see we got a oak tree that dropped in here too that needs to be cut up. Well, anyway, let's get to this. It does a nice job. Really makes short work of that. Gonna be some really nice trails here. This one here I might have to work on a little bit yet. And the rest of these, if I can, I open it up wider than what it needs to be. It just makes it easier to turn around in here if you gotta pull out logs or something. And there I got a tree down again, so I'll have to pull that out of the way before I can. It looks like there's another one down further down as well, but I gotta get those pulled out before I can go through here and grind this up. But it really opens it up, really makes it nice. Alright, I think this is gonna be it. I obviously wasn't gonna get everything done today, but I can connect this to the front again, and then I'll have this little section done here. So this tree is just kind of hung up in another one. I'm gonna come at the bottom with the forks and see if I can pull it out that way and get it to drop, just so that it's not a hazard. Alright, so we'll take a drive through with the four-wheeler. I don't know how well this is going to work though. Alright, I guess that wasn't too bad. A bad day in the woods is still better than a good day at work. So, you got some stuff done. You just had to kind of shift gears a little bit. Obviously on that four-wheeler ride there's probably a lot of wind noise, and you can see where I need to get in with that stick saw. The stuff on the ground I get pretty well, they grind it up, but like something like this right here, that'd just zip up. Or even if I brought the chainsaw along, which I was thinking, oh, I don't need the chainsaw, why would I need that today? Yeah, I should have just threw it in the truck and brought it along. But all this little viney stuff here and on the side there, get that taken up, and then you get a nice clear shot through. So, all right, well, I'm gonna leave you for now.